Hello all. So if you've probably been reading my blog so far, you know that I'm Steve, and my recent diagnosis of PTSD, control with depression and anxiety, which I suffer with a fair bit. I've taken to writing a blog to help me to cope with it, as well as to help others to understand someone living with my issues or to understand why they are the way they are. I know everyone's different. I know everyone has their own little bit of issue, should we say, but I want to express from my side the way I am. If you've probably been reading this blog so far, you know that there's going to be a lot that I'm going to be talking about. But today I've come on to talk about my anxiety attacks that I have. They can go into full-on depression. Now, last night was a bad night. Last night I self-harmed in a bad way, and I practically knocked myself out. To give you a build-up, I forgot to take my medication yesterday morning, and I don't believe I took the medication the night before. My head wasn't working right, and I had put them in a blister pack, so I forgot to take them. Repercussions of that, as well as having none of my Smarties that I talk about, which is promethazine, I started getting anxious and nervous towards everything. Anyone would say anything to me, I would automatically take that as full-on blame of myself, and I was attacking out. I was struggling to cope with other people's downsides or emotions, including my girlfriends and my children. And it just got worse and worse and worse. It come to a point where I started having flashbacks. I started to, well, first of all, I started to hit myself on my head and on my legs. That's my escape. This is what I do to cope with my anxiety at times. It's been controlled, tablets controlling it, but unfortunately not so good when you don't take them. So last night I had no promethazine to hand. I had no tablets in my system for 24 hours, if not more. And I started to self-harm again. I was hitting my head full on, from the side, from the front, from the back. And I'm not talking little tabs. I'm talking full on force with the palm, with the knuckles, right there. Walls, ceilings, floors, you name it, I was hitting it. I got to a point where I didn't even realise I nearly jumped off a balcony. That's how bad it had got to me. It was a really stressful night. I sat there, flashbacks came through and fast. I mean, I was having them all day, but they got severe at night, and a flashback that I never wanted came into my head last night, and it made me really, really bad. I felt so vulnerable, so young, so enclosed, and I was screaming like I was there. I I don't like anyone seeing me like that. It really hurts. It's a bad thing, and I feel for anyone who has to see me like that, as well as anyone else who has to suffer things like that, because it is a terrible thing to see. The more I sit back, the more I see it, the more I see what's going on. I'm glad I've got releases in place, but it's not good. I've been under various different people. Medical was the most recent. I was signed off and wasn't given anything after health apart from you might get a call from a psychiatrist soon. I got dumped. Is your doctor? There he is again. I went to my doctor today and my doctor, why aren't you in the Cromwell house? Don't know. Should I be? Yes, he says. But why has no one done that for me? I don't know, he says, I will have a word. Then he gives me medication and sends me on my way. But bless him, he was good. I'm sat in the waiting room. And he knows my anxiety. He knows my problems. Instead of ringing through to the receptionist to say he's here, I'm here, and go to the room, he come out for me. And I was happy with that. He come out, he checked us all right. He was asking, he was taking care of me through his surgery. And hats off to him, he helped me out today because my anxiety was through the roof. Like I said, I had no Promazine, I had none left. For some reason, it wasn't on prescription with the doctor. And Metal Book had kind of said, there you go, off you go. So yeah, so like I said, last night, I was digressing a bit. Last night I had a breakdown for nearly an hour and a half. I had various people there, but I didn't know they were there. I didn't know who was around me. I was just in the phase of where I was as a 12-year-old child. And that was what was in my head. It was like I was 12-year-old, I was there again. And it brought back a flashback I don't remember, but now I do. And it really scared me. It really did. And so like I said, I understand where people have the flashbacks, where people have the nightmares and tendencies. I have it. And I don't want to brag. I don't want to say, well, I'm better than you. Anything. I don't do that. This is low for me. And I'm working on it the best I can. I'm trying my hardest. I'm coping with life. Just about. I'm putting myself through courses, through training. I'm putting myself into volunteering and working with certain groups in order to help me through. Because what better way is for me to help myself than by helping others as well? And this is why another reason why I do this blog. Because it's not good to sit there and know that there's other people in the world like me, other people that got from me. Because I've suffered for over 20 years and I've hidden it. I've put that false face on. You wouldn't know unless you saw me have a meltdown. And it's very rare people saw that because I was usually on my own, locked away in a bedroom with no contact to the world. It's only the past year and a half that I've had people saying to me, where the hell do you think you're going? And this is why it's all come out in the open now. It's not something that I won't recommend anyone to bypass neither. If you know someone with mental health problems, someone with issues, don't mark them off as being different or strange or odd. You can judge people easy. I see it all the time. I get judged. Unfortunately, there's an idiot in the block where we live who judges me, but he doesn't know me. And it's not nice. It's not nice to be judged. Don't judge anyone else. If someone's there with talking to themselves in the corner facing a wall, there might be actually someone genuinely wrong with them. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to scream and shout or scratch at you. They're going to want to be spoken to like a human being. I want speaking to you like a human being. I don't want being talked down to. I'm a very clever person. And I'm not blowing my own horn with that. I know I am. But when people speak down to me because I'm having an episode or having a problem, it really belittles me. It makes me feel really bad. So don't. It's not worth it. But anyway, like I say. So last night, like I said, I was on the floor. I'm banging my head off the floor, screaming. This vision's in my head. I'm gripping on for dear life to anything I can remember. I don't remember bits and bits and bits, but I've been up all night just going through it all in my head, over and over and over. And I can see it all there. I know what was going on. But I didn't know who was around me in real time. I was stuck as a 12-year-old child, being locked out of my home and get told to fuck off. Not a nice thing to be feeling. Especially not for where I was going. And it brought back one too many bad thoughts. I was told I nearly jumped off a balcony twice, but I didn't even know that. I wasn't in the frame of mind to know that. I was in the frame of mind of this 12-year-old boy stuck and troubled. I've lived it once. I don't want to live that again. That was a hard time for me. It really was. But I said I don't want to die again. And I was definitely on my medication today. I made sure I had it first thing, and I shall be taking my medication in 20 minutes like I'm supposed to. Yeah, I don't want to go backwards. I need it. I've got special children. Children who love me dearly. Children who will do anything for me. I've got a wonderful partner. I've got a wonderful stepchild. And do you know what? I wouldn't change any of the world. They're all crazy, but they love me. So they must be crazy. But it's nice to have people in my life because I've really struggled with that too. I've shut the world out. I've told the world to go away and leave me alone. And I've walked away from many people. Now's my time to stop doing that. Now's my time to face it head on. And I intend to. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be really tough, really hard. But I'm going to do it for them little special things, for their special daughters. I love them to do it. So, anyway, I had my tablet forced down me while I was having an episode. I had the Pomsey forced down me while I was having an episode. Then found a couple. And I heard everyone shouting at me, even my dad on Skype through my phone was shouting at me and checking I was there and checking I was okay. So it took me a while to come to, but by then I'd done a lot of damage to my head. My head is in bits. There's not a single part of my head that isn't tender at this moment in time. My ears are tender. I tried to rip my ears off to stop the noises, to stop the voices, to stop the graphics. I was punching 10 tons of crap out of my head for at least half an hour straight. My whole left arm, because I'm left-handed, my whole left arm is in agony. Like all the muscles have been worked and undo. But yeah, I went to bed. I couldn't sleep. Lay there all night, staring at walls, staring at ceilings, and watching TV just because I couldn't sleep to settle. When I finally did, I was having nightmares because the flashbacks came back again in my head and nightmares. By the time I woke up this morning, I had to go and pick my little princess up from her mum's, and I was driving tired. I shouldn't have been driving. I know I shouldn't, but I had to. I had to go and get my daughter. She's my world. So I've got to get back. I had a little nap. Nice nap. And I still feel really down, really dull, really pained. I just feel like curling up, but I can't. I'm not letting them down, and I'm not letting myself down. Hopefully, nice sleep tonight, no nightmares, bit of extra medication, and happy days. But yeah, it's not. I just wanted to explain. It's not the best. It's not lies. It's not. I've heard everything. Mental health is in your head. It's all messed. It's all made up. It's not really happening. You don't have flashbacks. There's no such thing as PTSD. I've heard it all. I didn't even know I had PTSD until I got told one day by, well, first of all, a CBT worker said, have you tried that? You got PTSD. Right, so I can't deal with it anymore. Let me refer you. Sends a letter to the doctor and signs me off. Luckily, at that point, I'd have my nervous breakdown and end up in Meadowbrook. I say luckily, I had really destroyed myself. I had to go to hospital and sit there and wait in the waiting room in fits of tears, in fits of agony, waiting for a nurse to shout me in. I didn't want to be there. And then I goes up trundles over. Then I had to wait even longer to see the crisis team, and then blah 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 blah. Give them medication, send them away. Come back tomorrow. Back at Meadowbrook in the morning. And best words ever. We won't take you in because we know you'll end up fighting. So we're going to keep you on the home improvement team. No, home-based treatment team. And I was visiting. I wouldn't let them come to my home because that's my place. That's my safety spot. So I was always at the hospital every other day, visiting Meadowbrook, getting my medication, coming back 2 days later so I can get medication. I think they probably got fed up with me going there. That's probably why they signed me off. So, yeah. I said at that point, everything just hit the roof. Visits to the police station to report things from my childhood, visits to various different organisations and groups to see who they are, what they offer. Then they just go quiet. So whereas one point I had about 10 different people involved in our lives, I don't hear from any of them. Maybe once a month I get a call from each company. Well, company, you know what I mean. Yeah, I think my doctor probably got more concerned than the rest of them. And you know what? Hats off to him. He's a good man. He's the one that got me the help that I needed. Sitting in his office telling him how bad I'd hurt myself from my self-harming, how I tried to kill myself, how I didn't want to be there, how I couldn't see past the visions and everything else. His response was, "Where are you going? I'm getting an ambulance. You're going to hospital." "No, I'm not," I says. He goes, "You are? I'm getting an ambulance." I said, "An ambulance to go 2 miles down the road?" It's only 2 miles away from the hospital. I said, "An ambulance to go 2 miles down the road? No chance. I'm not waiting on an ambulance for that." He said, "Well, you better get there." I said, "Right, well, I'll go there. I'll go and get someone to come with me." I've got my dad. And I go there. What I didn't know was I drove. That's what I do. I even drive with broken hands. That's me. But anyway, so I drove there, and I found out the doctor actually was checking up on me. So he turned around to me and said, "If you don't go, I'll call the police and get you dragged in." I was like, "Cheers." So like I said, sat in the waiting room for many hours, got called in, sat talking to someone for about an hour and a half. Like I said, give him medication, sat me away, and come back tomorrow. And that's how I got into the mental health start. Anyway, over the past few weeks, I'm going to talk about this in my written blog in a bit anyway, but past few weeks I've been working with the health improvement team of Salford. They're a brilliant group, brilliant team. Can't fault them one bit, and they have some amazing groups to work on, set groups up, and then make them self-sufficient. And one of the ones that I've been going to is a mental health drop-in centre in Salford in Eccles. And I've always feared places like that. I fear people. For a people person that I am, I fear people. I just hide it behind this wonderful false mask that I used to have. Still have if I want it. And I goes into this place, I'm thinking the worst. There's a group doing art from a team called Start. You might have heard of them. They do artwork within Salford. And there's another group, which is the men's group. So you've got two tables, one full of women, one full of men. And I'm starting to circulate with them. I'm getting to know them, meeting names. Now I feel very welcome. And I've been there 4 times. And I feel very welcome. And that is amazing. For the fact that there's the people that have similar problems, different problems, you name it, mental health problems. And they're happy to mingle with each other and talk and chat and be nice and merry and not be judged. It's a brilliant place. I recommend anyone who do around Eccles to look it up, because it's definitely worth going to. And that's the link in Eccles. Anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. That'll be done in writing later on, if we get the time, or tomorrow. But I just wanted to let you know that coping with anxiety attacks or depression attacks when they hit bad isn't easy. It isn't something you can just wash over and go. It drains you. I'm drained now. I'm in agony. Got a banging headache. There's not a single part of my head that don't intend. I don't know if you can see that there, but it goes all the way around and in and out, all back, all bruised. I usually have my head shaved bald, but I won't do it because I need to hide the bruising, so I don't get judged. I need to hide that bruising, and I hate the fact I feel the need to hide it. I should be open and honest and say, "Look, this is me. Take it or leave it." But there's just people out there who don't think about it before they say things, unfortunately. Yeah, so anyway, I said, thank you for reading my blog. If you do read, thank you for listening to me ramble on. I know I've rambled on a bit, but I am grateful. If you want to message me, feel free to message me. If you want to add me on all social media sites, all the links should be on the website. And yeah, feel free to talk. Thank you very much.